questions?
Chip, once again, you're facing a really good long receiver this weekend. What do you got to do to contain a guy like that?
Well, there's more than him. That's the one thing. You normally sometimes you get into a game and they're they got one receiver, but their catches. And the one thing about Mike's offense is he spreads his catches out between his receivers. So obviously Marcus is one of the most talented kids in the country, but you can't solely focus on him because Marks and some of those other guys are playing at a real high level, and he'll throw it to who's ever open. They're not trying to force it to one guy. So obviously he's a real talented player, tall, rangy, very athletic, great route runner, but we also have to make sure that we take care of everybody else because he'll distribute the ball to all 5 eligible receivers. So.
On your offensive side of the ball, talk a little bit about what we've seen from Braylon Addison.
But he's done a really nice job. He came in here as a true freshman and never really acted like a true freshman, a lot like Michael Clay was when Michael was here in his freshman year, and had a great grasp. Studied a lot on his own in the summertime. Obviously, when he was here on the first day of practice on August 6th, he really had a good grasp of what we were doing offensively. So, real mature kid. Played in the spotlight. Was a high school quarterback, but has made a great transition to being a real effective receiver for us right now.
How about Dwayne Stanford? Same question. What have you seen from that guy?
Same exact thing. It's just Dwayne's taller, but they're both real mature kids that have worked very, very hard. And, when we recruited them, we told them there'd be an opportunity if you prepare to, it's an open competition at every position, and those two guys took full advantage of it. So.
You've been asked this a lot over the last couple of weeks, but Mike Leach said that there are some similarities between the two offenses. What do you see
I see none. I don't know what Mike's looking at. He throws it 70 times a game, and the only reason he throws it 70 is they won't let him throw it 100. So, we're the only thing that's close is we're both in the shotgun. But besides that, I don't think either offense is very similar to.
Does the offense this game, after the turnover problems over the first couple games, almost feel like they have to help out the defense a little bit this time around?
No, we don't think of that. We think we don't want to turn it over at all. That's never been. It's okay because the defense can bail you out. Our goal every week is to not turn it over, and their goal every week is to create turnovers. So there's not any feeling different from one week to the next week. It's not like if we went 5 games in a row where we didn't turn it over and we said, okay, we've been pretty good. It's okay to slack off. So we got to do a better job of holding on to the ball.
How do you feel about the progression of Marcus now, a couple games in here?
I think Marcus done a great job. For a redshirted freshman to come in here, throw 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And one of the interceptions wasn't his fault. We got a kid running the wrong route. So I think he's done a really good job, through 4 games. Now, the next test for him is how does he respond when he goes on the road. So, we'll see. Just like the rest of our young guys, a lot of those guys will be their first action on the road. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
He said he's been working on taking care of the football a little bit more in terms of the fumbles. How in practice do you ensure?
We emphasize that every day, and if our whole concept is if we accept it, expect it, and we don't accept it in practice, and so we're not going to accept it when it happens in a game, and we'll continue to work on it. There's a right way to carry the ball, and we got to continue to stress that.
Coach, you go for a relatively high percentage of 4th downs, it seems, compared to other coaches. How much of that is attributed to your trust in the defense?
I don't think it's a high percentage, to be honest with you. We've gone 11 times in 4 games, so there's other schools that have gone more than us. I just think our decisions are based upon both our offense and our thoughts that we're going to get it or not get it, and then it's just a risk-reward thing. What is the risk of doing it here, and what is the reward? The reward's obviously to keep the drive alive. The risk is putting your defense on the field, but so a lot of it has to do with our defense out there. But we go for it a lot, but I think. I don't think we go for it more than a lot of other people too.
With Washington State having played both quarterbacks, are you preparing to face both of them?
Yeah, they're similar, and the offense doesn't change. They're both 6'3" kids that throw it real well. I thought, Jeff Toole 2 years ago was one of the real up-and-comers in this league, and have a ton of respect for him. I think he's a hell of a quarterback, and obviously Connor Holiday has done a really, really good job when he's gotten the opportunity. But the offense doesn't change no matter who's in the game. It's not like one quarterback's a running quarterback and the other quarterback's a throwing quarterback. They both are going to run the same offense that Mike's always run, and they're both going to throw it around a little bit. So it doesn't really change with either of those guys in there.
The Wildcats really didn't want to get the ball anywhere near Terrence Mitchell. What does that say about the kind of weapon he's turning into?
Yeah, please don't go there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
His head's big enough. He can't get in a locker room. So I don't think in one game we can determine that people are staying away from T. Mitch because we beat him 3 times today in practice. So.
Good to know.
You guys had walk-on tryouts this week. Anyone catch your eye?
Not really. I got to get from our guys, and there's still compliance, paperwork, all that other stuff before anything can be, who's in, who's out, and all that other stuff. So.
Do you go in with an open mind to those, or are there specific needs sometimes?
You got eligibility? Come on, we'll try you out. No. Yeah, you get some kids who show up in those situations, and and it can catch somebody's eye. But anybody that can help our program. But obviously, they've got where did they come from? What's their eligibility? Some of those other things. We've had some kids try out, but then all of a sudden, when you send their paperwork through compliance, is that they're ineligible. So a lot of those things are out of our control. But anybody that shows up there that we think can contribute and can help us out, and not only on the field, but could help us out in a scout purpose, or sometimes we get some kickers out of that save some of our kickers' legs. So we're always an open mind to those situations.
How tough of a place is it to play in Pullman? And I know that you said you don't know what to expect going up to Seattle and the neutral site until you get there, but based on the experience that you've had in past years in Pullman versus now not having to play there.
Yeah, I think it's a tough place. It's obviously first and foremost it's difficult to get to. So it's we usually fly into Idaho and drive. So that's a little bit of a different wrinkle than flying to Seattle. So, but they've always had a great home field advantage. There's a Martin Stadium is kind of a unique place, and they actually refurbished it. So I was anxious to go see what the new place looked like. But all the venues that we play on in the league and in this place are pretty. They're pretty difficult to go play in, and I think everybody when we come in, because we've won the league for a couple of years, and then we get everybody's A game. We get their A game fans, we get their A game players. So, but we expect the same thing in Seattle. So.
Because it's not a typical conference venue, does your Friday routine change, anything like that?
No, we'll leave here at, 4 or 5 o'clock, go to the hotel and do our normal thing, so we haven't changed anything.
No extensive walkthrough or anything the day before the stadium?
No,
or anything?
not at all. No. We're good? All right, thanks.